Do.
So it's show withdrawals, we're calling this, and two people that I know are so prominent, whether it's in the show horse or the show jumping, even having a baby last year, they managed to compete at the show. Jess and Reese Stones, welcome to our chat. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to join us.
Thanks for having us, Tim and Lyndsey.
So can you tell us where are you filming in from today? Where are you right now?
We're at home today, just sitting on the back veranda, just ran up from jumping off a horse to catch this just in the nick of time.
Guys, tell us, obviously normally you'd be bumped in, there'd be grand nationals, there'd be show jumping going on. In the last month, the world's just been thrown into a spinner and just spat out, and goodness knows where we are and what's happening. What's happened for you guys? How's life changed?
I mean, it's, the world's in turmoil for everybody. For us, right now we'd be competing at Grand Nationals in a class. We would have been competing there since Tuesday. So, it's crazy to think we're at home and we haven't left the property or been to a show in weeks. And, our preparation for Sydney Royal, it's normally full on, and now we don't know what to do with ourselves.
I think it's fantastic.
What are you doing with yourselves in this lot of downtime that we didn't expect?
Oh, look, we've still got a lot of horses in work and in training. The young horses, it's a good time to get stuck into them, which is usually what we do over winter when there isn't many shows. So they're getting a bit more work put into them than they usually do at this time of year. But some of the older horses have gone out for a bit of an early rest, which is a bit strange as they're normally competing in their biggest shows. So just a bit of a change, but still lots going on.
Hey, Jess, you came off. Oh, sorry, I just cut into you again, Tim. Sorry.
This always happens in the box. You go, Lyndsey.
No, well, Jess, you've just come off the massive high of winning the Gary Owen at Melbourne Royal last year, and you've had such an illustrious career as a competitor from a child up to all of the great achievements you've had success with now. Can you think of a Sydney Royal early achievement that is particularly memorable?
Definitely a lot. I guess probably winning my first rider class and first champion rider there, as well as, first open championship, the Ida Buring, even like the show jumping and the working hunter. I guess there's a lot across, different disciplines. I could name them all for each of the sections. One of my most memorable time would be when Reese and I went champion reserve together. That was pretty cool. I got champion, he got reserve.
Reese, there's lots of people having withdrawals of the show at the moment. What we've been talking about with different people is the missing of certain foods. Is there something, a show food, that's you're fond that you're not going to be able to get in 2020?
Oh, it's just the dirty old Dagwood dog, mate, I'd have to say. I suppose you could get it from the supermarket, but you don't have the big sauce to dip it in. It's just not the same. So it'd have to be the Dagwood dog I'd be missing out on.
Am I going, Lyndsey? waiting. Jess, is there a spot on the showground, like a place for you that is really a fond memory, or somewhere that you go and you go, I'm home, you're back at Sydney Show?
The Woolworths Fresh Food Pavilion.
Here.
That is always Sydney.
Nothing better than a free lunch and just trying all the samples. No, well, that is definitely something I do look forward to going back there each year, is trying everything new that's going to be at the Fresh Food Pavilion. But I think just when you drive in those gates and you see the stadium and it's just like, we're moving in for the next 2 weeks, and it'd be a nice place to, set up and be there 24/7.
You got cleaners, it's dry, it's just nice. You got all your staff there, so it's just a good environment. I think just going in the gates and being at the stables is pretty much home, to be honest.
I asked Tim this question earlier in the week, and I know it's hard to sort of narrow it down to one person, but is there someone for you who is quintessentially Sydney Royal, someone who is just, when you think of them, you think of Sydney Royal?
I guess it'd be a couple of people. for some reason, like Lindy Walker, she always rings a bell. Like she's always there at Sydney Royal. And then you've got like Chris Chugg and Vicky Roycroft. There's sort of, I guess, there's a handful of people that, again, across the discipline, even the same harness people. I can't even remember the names, but they're lovely people from the Highlands. Names escapes me, but
I'm not good with names.
There's always a small select few people that you only catch up each year at Sydney, and it's great to see them there.
Jess and Reece, you've both had
Barlows. That's right, I remember the Barlows.
Jess and Reece, you've both had huge successes at Sydney, but is there a time that you wish to get, a moment that you wish you could draw a race from history?
Yes. I think I was trying to remember before. I think it might have been 2000. I was either about 10 or 11, and I was in the junior judging class as like my horse was the guinea pig, for the junior judges to come in and assess and place. And it was pouring with rain, and it was right next to the show jumping. I went out, and my mum told me that I wasn't allowed to wear my brand new helmet because it was raining, so I had to wear my old one that was too small for me. Anyway, I had a bit of a headache, and it kind of got worse. I did complete my workout and got through the class, but by the time the presentation came, they put the ribbon on, and they were about to, red coat or green coat was about to leave us out on the track, and I passed out. And Becky Jenkins, was Becky Allen, was on course at the time, and my trusty old steed trotted into the jumping arena with me slumped over his neck, trotted out of the jumping arena, and then just followed the whole lineup around the track through the gate, and I was slumped over his neck. And when they turned at the gate, they all, hook it there, getting excited, I just went straight to the side and fell off on the ground. And then my mum wasn't watching the class, of course. She was back at the stable probably preparing my pony for another event. And I remember Scott Adams carried me back to my stables, and mum thought, oh my God, what's happened? You've fallen off. She's like, well, no, she passed out, and I've had to carry her back. And because I was forced to wear my old helmet because it was pouring with rain.
Nowadays, I know you can, and you're more than welcome. We're not against shameless plugs. You could give us a plug, because I know you've been doing some modelling lately for your mum, so maybe your mum shouldn't have made you wear that.
Oh, yeah. Again, tough times trying to do anything to help mum's business out. So, some unplanned modelling, to say the least.
She loves it.
I thought, Reece, you might be the model with that jawline.
No, mate, thank God they don't have a male section. 30 now, mate. I'm over the hill.
Dad bod.
Oh, come on.
That's right, Dad.
Guys, it's an interesting time. How are you guys dealing with the social isolation? Because I know you guys are, always have people around, always have people coming and going, always at horse shows. How are you mentally dealing with this time?
I guess
we actually enjoy it, funnily enough.
For us, for me, it's actually not that hard because, luckily we get to work from home. So, nothing's really changed. I rarely leave the place as it is. So nothing much has changed on that front. And then obviously, we've just had to put, things in place as far as, hygiene and, everyone being safe and sanitary and all of that.
She's making me shower twice a day. It's unreal.
If they do need to come and go, and then only as a matter of importance, if people need to come out of the place, like, feed deliveries and farriers and things like that, and eliminating anything, any unnecessary contact that we can, especially with baby as well.
It's not that bad, I don't think.
It's not that bad.
I quite enjoy it. Like, when we're so busy all year round, you never get a chance to actually do the things that you need to do at home, because
we've never done so much work around the property, and we have in the last 3 weeks. It's ridiculous. I got blisters and cuts all over my hands.
Hey, I want to ask on behalf of the non-competitors that watch you all out there looking resplendent and taking home tri-coloured sashes and, this very sort of regal moment that occurs at Sydney Royal. What is something a spectator wouldn't expect to know from behind the scenes?
Well, if we stood up, you'd see the amount of mud we've got on our legs at the moment. So, it's all glamorous when you're at the show, but, you sit back here and you look around and,
Yeah, there's no glamour.
Yeah, there's no glamour at home.
What goes on behind the scenes, I guess, is what they wouldn't be aware of.
We all put on a great show. Let's just say that when we get to an event, because as you put the picture on that it's smooth sailing and everything just rolls on one to the next and it's all smooth operation. But at home, there's hiccups. There's just I think it's like the realization of all the blood, sweat, and tears that goes into, goes in behind the scenes to achieve what we need to achieve. And again, especially when we're dealing with an animal, most people, they can clock off at 5 or whenever they do and, lock up for the day. Whereas, with horses and any other animals, it can be all day, all night. It's like having, if there's got a sick horse or anything like that, how early we get up to get to a show and how long it takes to prepare a horse. I guess it's just, the hours behind the scenes. A great example of it is staff. When someone sees you're a big show and they decide that it'd be cool to come and work for J and R Equestrian because it looks fun and there's a lot of people around and it's always a buzz. They come home and sometimes they might last
hit a bit of reality.
A day or two, and they're like, this is what do they call it? This is slave labour. This is slave labour. I'm like, sweetheart, this is just daily grind, and we've got it easy. It's the day after a show, like we're taking it cool today. But
this is a great piece of recruitment propaganda right here. Do not work for J and R Equestrian. It's too hard.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are the absolute epitome of perfection. I've stabled beside you at various shows. They don't do anything by halves, and the hard work certainly has been paid off. I'm certainly missing catching up with you guys at the show this year. Our withdrawal is real. It's true. Sitting at home today when we should be at the show just feels weird. I'm going to have my first Easter at home in I can't remember how many years.
You just want to get a members bar, Timmy. That's all you want to do, mate.
Mate, that was always a great place to catch up, and I used to follow your lead. And
you want to be getting your bug on the wagon wheel.
Oh well, I might have to play it definitely. But guys, thanks.
That was my favourite place to remember from Sydney Royal, but I thought I'd better not.
Please do. We look forward to catching up with you when this all unravels at the end. We can come out the other side. But thank you so much for taking a bit out of your day. Enjoy some time at home. Be careful. There might be number 2 on the way if you spend too much time at home.
Don't you worry. I was about to put a photo up last night and say it's good time for this. It was a photo of
It's a shame they put IVF on hold, so I can't have another one just yet.
Well, guys,
I better stop.
Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you out and about again soon.
Thanks for having us.